Well, good morning, lads, lasses, and you non-binary folk. How are we all feeling today, eh? Feeling chipper? Feeling spry? Feeling ready to fight the fight and live the life, I suppose? I certainly am. Didn't really feel like playing games today, which is why we're doing this stream. Didn't really feel like games today. But I did feel like chatting on my day away. Feeling a lot better today, actually. Certainly a lot better than last night. But still didn't have a good night's sleep. Just happens sometimes, I guess. Don't know why. My life is a cycle of la PlayStation 2. Jesus, that was loud. Is it always that loud? Morning, J-Hunk. But my life seems to be a constant cycle of not being able to sleep properly, and then being able to sleep properly. Oh, hi, Eddie. Oh, hi, Eddie to you too, Tiberian. How's everyone feeling? Feeling good, everyone? Oh, I've forgotten something. I've forgotten something important. I'll use this for now to overcome it, so I have to get up to get it. Groggy? I'm actually pretty happy with myself. Because I have gone for another run. That makes 3 in this week. That makes 3 this week. So I've gotten up real early in the morning. I took a nice run, about 30 minutes. Not much. But, you know, it's getting back into what I used to do. I used to run so far. I'm very happy with myself, and I feel a lot better this time. I've come to the end of this week and a bit of running. Every second day, I've come to a lot... I feel a lot better. This run didn't feel as hard as the first one. And it's only been a few. So... But yeah, woke up early, went to bed late. Why are you groggy, Tiberian? Sorry for suddenly going, oh, well, I'm having a great time, fuck you. Why are you feeling groggy, mate? Just woke up, fair enough. Well, I woke up 3 hours ago, actually. I woke up and went for a run. And then I went for a shower. And then I still had time to do my Japanese in the morning. God, I feel so goddamn productive. Oh, holy shit. Look at me fucking go. I don't know, just really feeling it this morning, I guess. I do find it very funny that YouTube's chat has automatically translated your Oha Eddie to good morning, Ellie. I didn't notice that, because the chat that I use, which is the StreamerBot sort of combined chat that I can see, it doesn't use that, which is very funny. Maybe I should find a way to combine the chats. Because I'm allowed to do that now these days. They changed the Twitch rules. Yes. No, but yes, it was a good morning. God. Who would have thought? I am a bit sleepy. I am a bit sleepy, though. Getting up that early and not sleeping all that well last night. I do feel a bit drowsy. Well, that's what the tea's for, so. Oh, it's a beautiful smell. I love this tea. I'll definitely get more of it. I really enjoy this tea. The Narcissus. The Suisen. Otherwise just Wuji Cliff Tea or whatever it is. Wuji Cliff Tea from the mountains in China. I must have turned the computer sound up. Why everything sounds so loud? Yeah, I did. But yes, actually, you know what? Why are we sitting here? Let's go take ourselves to somewhere more comfortable, more fun, more exotic. Let's get out of the library. Get out of the library. Head somewhere else. Because when I made today's thumbnail, I went, wait, I could just turn this into a thing that I can use for stream. So come join me, everyone. Let's head over to the cafe. Well, more the restaurant, but it's a cafe. I've replaced the painting up beside me. Sorry, the painting up beside me has been replaced with today's drink. And I'm glad I've checked this now, so I can change where you guys are. There you guys are. Maybe I'll stick you guys... Maybe I'll stick you guys in front of the table. That'll be funny. Give me a moment. Ooh. Let's get you guys in front of that table, shall we? There you go. Maybe I'll put you down here. Now, the Twitch chat's down there. So you guys get to sit at the table. Next to Eric. There you go. But yes, welcome to the new little space I've made. Isn't it nice? It's a lot more zoomed in than the other one, but you know, I was bored, and so I've made this with the today's drink in one of the paintings on the wall. Isn't it fun? Isn't this fun? I've always been thinking of how I would use this picture. And don't worry about that Eric over there, he's just there to judge us. That's just judgment, Eric. He's just what he does. He's just there to judge us. Don't worry about it. That's just judgment, Eric. He's there thinking about things, wondering if we've got good ideas or not. We can make him go away, though. We don't have to keep him around. There you go. Maybe I'll put you where Judgment Eric is supposed to be. Yeah. Be stuck with Judgment Eric. Looks more like he can't decide what to order. Well, yeah, you know what? You're probably right about that. You are probably right about that one, certainly. What about Twitch chat? It's still gonna be down in the corner there. Twitch chat is still gonna be down there. So, they get to sit at the other side of the table. So YouTube is on one side of the table, Twitch is on the other side of the table. Because if I ping today's drink on the Twitch chat... Boom! There it is. I'm gonna reload that. So it disappears. Boom. There, we can have Judgment Eric. Do you want Judgment Eric there? How long does it take you to decide what to order? It really depends how much time I've had to think. Like, if it's a restaurant I know, pretty quick. Or if it's a restaurant that has some... if I have an objective come to the restaurant. Often I'm going to a restaurant with an objective. I'm rarely a person who turns up at a restaurant on the fly. I'm rarely just walking down the road while on holidays or something like that, and I duck into a restaurant. Unless it's that type of restaurant. So when I travelled with my nephew, we only tried to duck into a few restaurants on the fly, and most of the time it was just sort of chain restaurants. Your skiers, your katsuyas, your matsuya, your, you know, all the different types. There's more, I've forgotten the names. The nakaya, or whatever it is. Why do you keep hearing matsuya, nakaya, skiya? Ya is like a phrase they often mean. Often it means, it can mean roof, or building, or store. Heya, the ya in there is the same ya. Ya is just a very common thing. So you hear a lot of traditional, the sort of Japanese-based chain restaurants tend to have ya in their name. Skiya, matsuya, nakaya. All those things. They're all ya. Sorry, got distracted. Point is, I rarely go into a restaurant just randomly that I have no idea about. So I'm usually pretty quick because I have an idea of what I want already. There's usually like 2 things I'm deciding between, and sometimes it's really hard to decide between those 2 things. But most of the time, it's only like 1 or 2 things on the menu. The times I have the longest think is when I'm invited out suddenly. Like, gotta be last year now. I really gotta invite that person out to tea. But, you know, like last year in summer, I got invited out by an old colleague. They were like, you know, I'm back in town. They took up a sabbatical somewhere, and they're back in town, so they invited me out for lunch. And then, I didn't really have an idea, because we sort of turned up to a restaurant that they chose. And I didn't really get much information about it, beyond being told that we were going there. So, that time it took me a while, but I'm rarely that fast. I like to be fast. You know, I don't like to take a while, because I feel bad, you know? You know, if it's a bar, or a restaurant that has alcohol, then often we'll just order a drink, and then we'll decide what we're eating. You know, toriaizu biru, sort of thing. Let's start with beer, sort of thing. Delicious. So I'm usually pretty quick. I'm pretty quick, because I'm usually already created an idea before I enter the restaurant. I'm not one of those people who hums and haws. The only time I do that is when I'm worried. The times I take the longest, is when someone's treating me. Someone's treating me to lunch. That's what I often get. I take the longest, because I don't want to order something too expensive, but I also don't want to seem like I'm trying to avoid ordering something too expensive, because I've been with people who take offense to that. You know, certain cultures, you know, multicultural in Australia, so often certain cultures will take offense to you trying to avoid spending money. So it becomes a game of looking at the menu trying to decide. Eric, why are we social distancing? No, you're sitting on the other end of the table. We're not social distancing, you're just on the other end of the table. Don't worry about it, big chum. Just a big table. And also this just looks, I kind of wanted to... If I zoom in too much, it looks unbalanced and doesn't look as nice. And maybe I should stand back here so it sounds like I'm far away. Instead of standing really close. Maybe I should be like, hey guys, I don't know. Anyway, no social distancing here. We're just at the other side of the table. Hello, man. I'm going to college. Wow. Good job. Work hard. Though college may not be as useful as it used to be, still pretty useful. And hello, Jahan, you back? How are you? There you go. Yes, today's is the Narcissus tea. Not actual Narcissus, because that's daffodil. Suisen, which is poisonous. But it's that oolong tea. We've had it before. It's the one you can steep like 4 times. It's great. I love it. Starts with a really sort of earthy, nutty flavor with like the heavy oxidation, because it's like a heavily oxidated oolong tea. Great, you two broke comments. What happened? Did you get eaten by the computer again? Did you get eaten by the computer? You know, that happens to a few people. For some reason. YouTube tends to eat them talking. No, the counters aren't working right. Yeah? Interesting. For comments, not chat. Oh, okay. You mean like it's like says like 3 comments and there's none? Fair enough. Yes, doesn't everyone like this? How does everyone feel about this? Doesn't this look cool? I really like this. Doesn't this look cool? I felt very creative making this. It feels like I'm there. No, the opposite. Oh, there's like says 0 comments and there's like 6. I see. Yes, I felt very creative making this. And in a weird way, because of the reflection on the table, it sort of makes me look like I'm actually in the scene. I wonder if I could make a way for there to be a reflected version of me, where I'm like reflecting off the table. Like making like a low opacity version of myself on the places that look reflective. I wonder if I could pull that off. Might try it. Make like an upside down low opacity version of this same camera at the same time. Then just make another layer for this dark spot that's not reflective. Could work. The stuff that wouldn't be reflecting, I'd take out and make into a new thing. And then make the reflective tops. I could do that. Maybe. Might be fun. It was a good joy. I had a good time making this. And today's drink is up there. Go into my video and the creator says 0 in the creator studio. It's also not counting the number of replies on the comments directly, at least on mobile. Today's stream was fine, and making the post last night was okay, but recently, the last week, YouTube has really been struggling. Like, it took me ages to make this last Yakuza stream. Like, it took me 6 tries. It kept going, sorry, something went wrong. Like, what do you mean something went wrong? I had to type everything out again. Eventually, after the second time, I just copy-pasted everything I typed and then just kept copy-pasting it in until it just worked. It took like 6 tries to get the goddamn stream to be made. I was sick of it. It's really annoying. And then, of course, today was quick and nice, but recently, as J-Heck knows, sometimes when I'd click the start stream button, it would just not start the stream. Or it wouldn't even pick up. It would say, the connection is excellent, and then just not allow me to start the stream. I'd be like, sorry, dude. But it seems to have fixed it today. It was really good, so maybe they got their shit together. Ooh. Oh, strange stuff, though. Speaking of videos, I've been warming up to the idea of making YouTube shorts. I have. I'm wondering if I should go back to the old videos from the old Resident Evil Village streams and just take clips from that to start putting out some shorts. The problem is, I just don't have the storage space on this computer because of those 2 sudden I still don't understand what destroyed them, but suddenly 2 hard drives just died. I do not know what happened. That's really annoying because that's like 3 terabytes of storage I could have used, and actually one of those had the old had like the half-edited videos from that sort of version. I really should take those off my channel, so you can't see them. But the half-edited videos. Clip everything. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Going back through, because I think there is clipping. Oh, did they take away clipping? Right now people have the attention span of a fish, so everything short can get us attention. I know. But I just don't think of myself as that funny, which is probably a problem. I can't think, unless I'm really like scrubbing through a whole stream, I do struggle sometimes to sort of pick out the funny moments. That's why in like the several hours of content, I turned those like Resident Evil streams into quite short videos, because to me, I don't see myself as very funny. I guess, maybe that's me. But I don't really have the money to hire someone else to do it for me. Which would be the other way to do it. Maybe I could just hire someone to, like, do a couple of streams, do a one-time payment, get them to make, like, a heap of shorts, and then just, like, post those shorts slowly. Like, once a week sort of thing. I don't know. We'll have to see. A lot of people do shorts, and I probably have the time for shorts right now. But it's something I've been warming up to. Something I've been warming up to. They used to have clipping on YouTube. But I don't know if they do anymore, do they? Grandpa, guess what I got? What did you get, mate? Something exciting? A computer? They used to be able to clip stuff. They got rid of it. Yeah, I thought they did. $1 for $1 trillion. The magical $1 trillion dollar. Dollar bill. YouTube only removes features. Well, they had to have added that feature at some point to remove it. Oh, I can create clips on my end. It seems. 21. But please, don't base your future streams into chasing trends. Mate, if I was a Chen tracer, I'd probably be a lot more successful, J-Egg. I have 2 reasons that I haven't really been the way I do things. And it never worked right. Yeah, but at what cost? It's true. God, they've made a transcript of my whole video. Apparently I can make a clip on my end of things. Hmm. And I can they give you the transcript to do it. Interesting. Sadly not real. Damn. New VTuber genre is react slop. Oh yeah? Maybe I should react to things I already know about. Why did it pick up feeling spry as feeling spray? Wasn't it always react slop though, Tiberian? I feel like people have been reacting to stuff as VTubers for ages. I also realized maybe I should make the oh, the leaves. Nah, that's inside, that'd be weird. Why would there be leaves? What is this text? Watashi wa. Why do I have watashi wa as text? Golden Gay time, I understand. But yes, if I was a Chen tracer, we've become really heavy over the last year or two. I suppose, yeah. But yeah, if I was the problem is, I tried to react. We've tried to do react stuff before, but I feel like I'm just not very good at it, you know? Like, I'm just not funny enough. You know, I don't react enough. I go, oh, that's funny. And then just move on. Like, I don't have anything to add. Maybe if it was something about some interests that I have. But even then, you're talking to a man who can extensively be described as not really having that many special interests. Cocktails and tea, I guess. But even then, in those fields, I'm more of a blasé about it, you know? Like when somebody makes a really beautiful cocktail, I go, oh, that's fascinating, I'll talk about something. Or mostly maybe I'll talk about something I've made, but I feel like I don't really have anything to add. You talked a lot over the last couple of videos you reacted to. It's fair. I feel like the most reaction I have is when we do the sort of game trailers every year. Not funny. I say more introverted with your reactions, not like a Let's Player from 2012. It's just, like, the most reaction I think you get out of me for react videos is the trailers. And I do talk over the videos. Now, you have to react to videos that are already popular. Fair enough. Fair enough. I just realized I opened a video, and this is the first stream where I've actually been drinking the tea we're drinking right now, and I see the transcript of me talking about the tea. Internet historian's really popular to react to. Oh yeah? I thought everyone hated that guy. Did I miss the train on that or something? But yeah, it's hard to say. I probably will end up making, eventually, because I've started warming up to the idea, I will probably end up doing it, and considering I'm doing a heap of new stuff anyway, you know, I'm starting to exercise more, I'm actually changing habits, I'm doing stuff, you know, maybe I'll get around it, maybe I'll actually start using my time for good, instead of for reading lots in Japanese, and doing nothing except for staring wistfully out at the coast. When I go for drives and stuff. I don't know, maybe I'll do something. Got the trouble with one video patrons, but it's all blown over now. Yeah, there you go. Who knows? Seeing a transcript of my streams is awful. God, I hate this. I thought I hated listening to it, but it's even worse to see it in person. Oh, hey, in this stream, I'm talking, hey, Big Chum! In this stream, I'm seeing a transcript of me talking about you going to college. I think you must have talked about it. I do love the laughter in brackets. It's the first time in a very long time. This is the first proper oolong I've ever bought this. Usually because I buy the Easy to Brew oolong. It's like an enthusiast oolong tea. You know, proper leaves. I don't know why it's translated oolong as U-L-O-N-G, but it's not green oolong. These are mountain oolong. Yes. Yes. Today's tea, or today's drink, is another one from Lupicia. Lupicia? That's great. I'm loving this already. This is funny. Fujian province, China. Very famous area. I feel like reading this transcript of how I talk makes me sound like I talk like Donald Trump. Jesus, do I really sound like that? Oh god, it's even worse to see it written down. That's awful. I hate that. I'm back to hating it again. I'm not liking this transcript of this random stream I've opened to see if I can make clips, because I seem to can make clips. Wonder what happens if I do it. Let's see if I can find something. We're going for a film mode that lets you search the transcript from all your videos at once. Maybe I could find that one place where I said I'd edit out something and I never did. I do have a lot of filler words, don't I? It's making me sort of self-conscious in my filler words I'm seeing. I must say a lot. God, this is making me feel really, really, really self-conscious. Listening to it's not so bad. Reading it's worse. Using that new YouTube creator app. Now this is just on Studio. I've just gone into the details of a random stream. And then gone, and it has like details, customization, analytic, editor, comments, languages, claims, and clips. So. But I'm not using any app, no. There you go. Interesting. Translate the name of the thing is really good. If you ever edit a video, use the chat log forever. Yeah? Well, this wouldn't be editing a video. This is making a video clip, I think. This is making a video clip of it. Oh, that's Andy came in this stream. I meant VOD, yeah. Rough times, eh? That you'd lose all that. I don't think I've edited a stream, though. I've not needed to, at least. Can you download video clips? We should just test this. You know what? Let's test this. When's a funny thing we've done? Let's go. God, so annoying. So annoying how long it takes to unlock any of his abilities. We're so fucking close. It's so funny seeing me swear. This is great. I'm loving this. Let's take the rant about tea. To the rant about tea. Let's get the rant about tea. Where is it? First download. Let's start there. So I click on that. Start here. And let's go. And end here. What happens if I then say create draft? Okay. Okay. Oh, so it just makes a video. Interesting. So it just makes a video. Wow. Alright. So it just... Very strange. Tea rant. All about oolong. Maybe. There you go. Interesting. Curious what this does. The title implies you've got a plan for your anniversary stream today. I am. We've got plenty of time. Don't worry. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. You're right. You're right. I shouldn't get so distracted, but I did get distracted. That's why we're at the table. This is the table of discussion. Why we're here. To discuss at the table. test. I wish this had made clips that I could download. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, this is just a little test, sorry. But yes, that is what I'm planning for. That is why I'm here. That is what I was planning to do today. Because I'm feeling bad about it, because, you know, I've been weirdly busy, but weirdly not busy, but not busy with the stuff I should be busy with, you know? Also, I'm finding it hard to decide what I'm gonna do, because, you know, it's just feels surprisingly heavy to plan for it. Everyone you see doing these sort of anniversary streams already has these big plans in mind, you know? I just feel like I don't. Just feel like I don't. Feel like I don't. But yeah, so that is the plan today. I apologize for getting immediately distracted. It's, you know, it's what you're here for. It's what you're here for. It's what you're here for. But yes, I want to do some planning for today's stream. Planning, scheming, perhaps. Because, you know, I want to feel like the people who are involved, and I might put some stuff on the stream. Maybe I'll put that on the Discord too. I'll just throw something on the Discord at everyone again. Just to ask what everyone's looking for the people who aren't here, you know. But I kind of want, you know, to feel like you guys are involved. You know, most of you have been stuck around for a fair few years at this point. Persona 4 Golden. But it's interesting. Big budgets, yeah. Yeah, totally. Giant budget. Yeah, massive budget. Huge budget I've got, J. Hank. Massive budget. Biggest budget you ever goddamn seen. Good old man with a PlayStation 2 and a dream. And yeah, and I'm currently illegally squatting in somebody's restaurant. I think this picture was taken somewhere in Ibaraki. I think this is one of the sort of like little old like Teishoku places in Ibaraki. You need pyrotechnics and a rock band. Weirdly enough, the rock band might be not too difficult. I know a lot of musicians. I'm sure I could convince them to make a bit of music for me. Sing and make music. But the music part, honestly, is the easiest part of this. You know, I know a lot of musically talented people and producers, so I could do that. Rock band, easy. Easy, rock band, yeah, totally. Maybe I should ask, though. Might be something, but they're all busy right now, so it'd be a bit hard. I should have asked them earlier, when they weren't busy. Oh well. Maybe if they've got the time, I can always ask. Yeah, PlayStation 2 and a dream. That's all I got. PlayStation 2, a dream, and a Japanese salary. Clearly the least likely to improve out of all the three. At least they can get more dreams. I love PlayStation. I don't know if that works, actually. I think it reads the whole message. Give me a moment. I can do it. Wait a second. Wait a second. Unfortunately, I haven't actually got it set up for this particular thing yet, so... Woo! There you go. There you go. La PlayStation 2. I could, so I'll duplicate this thing again, and I'll change it to behind the table. Source. PlayStation 2. Oh, we're not hearing the PlayStation 2, by the way? Give me a moment. That's weird. Let me fix this first. On the table. PlayStation 2. So, let's try this now. Oh shit, you're right, Fiend. Why is it not working? Nope, still mute. Dang. Try it now. Try it again. Try it again. One more time. One more time. Try it. I've changed something. Try it one more time. I think why you were able to hear it before sometimes must have been because of thing. But yeah, try one more time. Somebody. While I drink this tea. Oops. Overbrewed it again. Gotta stop getting distracted with the tea. Have a little tea timer. Have to bring your PlayStation 2 in for repairs. Oh no.
La PlayStation 2.
Does it work? Did you hear that time? I saw it on OBS, so I think you should have heard it that time. Works now. Okay, so what happened is StreamerBot updated, and so it is now called StreamerBot 1.0.7. And OBS, the sort of application capture that I use to make it so it's always there and ready to make noise, was 1.0.4. So it was capturing the wrong thing. And why you could hear it other times, probably, was because the desktop also picks it up. So it actually doubles up with the desktop audio and that StreamerBot audio. I really should make those mutually exclusive, but I'm too lazy to figure out how that works. So, instead, you can do with the giant PlayStation 2 covering the whole screen. That was me hiding it. Here's the Golden Gate time as well. Yeah, so it's interesting. I've been considering a lot of things about the stream. So, if I can find, for cheap, like a second camera, it would be good. So there's the two things I need to do what I would probably just do, which is always what I do for my sort of things. I want to get you guys at the bar. I've got this bar. I've had it for 2 years now. I've never taken you guys to sit at the bar with me. So if I could set up a second camera, and we can sit at the bar. Have you found any Golden Gate times in Japan? I saw one in Tokyo one time, I think. At like an import store. But not really. I think I saw one specifically like an Australian import store in Tokyo, but they don't really survive long distance that well, so I have no idea how that bar got them. Took them on the plane, I guess, in a goddamn one of those like sort of organ boxes that keeps like the organ cold. That's always a job I kind of wanted. Being one of those like organ transfer people that like fly in planes and stuff, taking hearts to hospitals. But yeah. I don't know why that Japanese girl was talking about them. Maybe she went to Australia. They're pretty big in Australia. Pretty much anywhere you can buy ice blocks. You can buy Golden Gate time. Gathering. Ideas for yeah. You don't carry around beers and styrofoam coolers and all? Styrofoam? Well, occasionally, I guess if you're fishing. You know, no, it's not always the ice you put your fish on. Throw some beers in as well. I've certainly seen beers in a styrofoam goon, but often we throw them in the air ski, you know. Anyway, I posted on the Discord. Yes. Don't care how it is. But yeah, no, if you go on fishing occasionally, you'll see it. A beer next to the fish. Beer next to all the ice, you get your fish in. But yeah, a lot of times it's an esky. You got an esky for it. Oh, sorry, a cooler. A cooler, sorry. Esky is a brand name in Australia that has become sort of the name of that sort of thing in Australia. By the way, can you share in the servers today's thumbnail? I always wonder why you ask. It's like it's mysterious. I feel like one of these days you're gonna come back with some strange piece of art. But do you mean like this? This picture? Or like the thumbnail itself? Like the thumbnail? Or do you mean like the background of the thumbnail? Like the table and stuff? Because for some reason, and I don't know why I have this, but I have a really high resolution, like the thumbnail stuff, so with me on it. Okay. But like the actual thumbnail, not the picture that is the thumbnail. Okay. I mean, yeah, but man, not just like the background. Me. You want me on the thumbnail. Got it. I called this thumbnail Scheming the Round Table. Scheming Round the Table is what this thumbnail is called, by the way. But yeah, sure, I can give it to you. I'll put it on the art chat, I guess. With all of you there. Full cafe of schizophrenia. Yeah, I'll put it in the art, I guess. I'll put it in the art. But the picture, by the way, the picture of this picture, for some reason, is like max resolution. Like, it's like 6,000 by 4,000 pixels. You think Australians are normal people, then you start talking, then they start uttering alien words. Yeah, he's getting in the esky, mate. Put your beers in the esky, so you can take your beers out in the dinghy, so you can drink your beers while you're going fishing with your mates. I don't know what the problem is, mate. Maybe smoke a couple of durries. Snag a couple of snapper. Maybe a few barramundi. And then take them home for lunch. It's good stuff. Requested by J Hank. There you go, it's in the art tab on the Discord. You can see what the original picture was, actually, in the back of that picture, too. Because when I took this picture, you can sort of see the door. There's a door off to the side here. The actual sliding door of the entrance of this sort of, like, eating area. So this restaurant is in a place in Ibaraki that me and my nephews traveled through while we're heading up to, going to Fukushima from Tokyo. And we stopped by this place on the way back to Tokyo. And yeah, this is Fukuroda Falls, if I remember correctly. Fukuroda? I can never remember the name. I always get it wrong. Fukuroda? I hate these words sometimes. I have to look it up. Point is, it's a very beautiful waterfall in the mountains. And they have this, like, sort of like... They have, like, the cafes and, omiyage places, souvenir places downstairs, down, like, the bottom of the valley. But up the valley a bit, as you come out of the falls from one of the other entrances, there's this sort of, like, old buildings. Like a series of old buildings, and two of them above a house restaurant sort of things. Like, one of them is well and truly abandoned, and the other is this one. So there's, like, this big restaurant thing that clearly used to be a big, like, open-air restaurant sort of thing. And these beautiful sort of, like, Japanese-style restaurant sort of rooms overlooking the valley. It's really beautiful stuff. So this is, like, on a cliff up on, like, stilts, looking down over the valley, where you've got the actual building and the person's actual home behind us. But this is, like, the cafe, so you've got, like, a cafe behind us that's got, like, a lot of food and snacks and stuff, but you can also order meals and eat them in these sort of restaurant areas. So this is, like, the area of, the restaurant area. I wonder how busy this gets, because I've always seemed to end up in this area when it's not very busy. So, interesting, though. But yeah, it's a fascinating little spot, this Fukuroda Falls. Really beautiful when we were there. Quite green. And this, me taking a picture of this room because it was empty, and I just thought it was a really nice room, and I genuinely thought, oh, that looks like a great sort of background for a stream. So I took a picture of it. Unfortunately, I took a picture, well, all the pictures I took still had the door in the way, so... But then I was like, oh, I was going to zoom in anyway, so it worked out. Because the door you can't see, because I've moved it. It's zoomed in enough that you can't see the door. So I thought this looked really good, and it's turned out really well, and I've changed the picture of Fukuoka Falls in the fall to a picture of Nighty. Isn't it lovely? Isn't it lovely? Maybe I should have got the today's drink thing and, like, made it really tiny. And, like, it was like a plaque. Does that work? Hmm. Maybe. A second. Put on top of the drink image. There you go. Today's drink, like a little plaque. Didn't cut out the inside of the hurdle, did I? Oh, I did. Oh, yeah, down there. I didn't. I missed that one. I got this one. But I missed that one. You're right. You're right. Give me a moment. I could fix that right now. Maybe. I can fix that right now. You're right. You're right. I didn't fix... Yeah. Silly me. I knew I missed one of them. I knew I missed one of them. I got the big one, but I forgot the little one. Give me a moment. Let's fix that. I'd have to get a new photo though. Oh, I can just change the photo. It'll be the same size too. Open recent. Maybe I should just get the picture. It was in scenes, isn't it? Alright. Gotcha. I've gotten much better. I'm very good at cutting things out now. Not gonna be the best cut. Alright. Cut out. Alright. So now, I go to the table, and I just replace it with this one. Should be exactly the same, except now, yeah! Haha! Speedy, look at that, look at that, look at me go. Oh, God, I'm so good at this. So good at this. I might move Twitch chat over there too. Like a pro. I know, right? Though, I've noticed it's slightly out of kilter, I think. Give me a moment. Let me zoom into this. It is. Give me a moment. The table is slightly out of kilter. Give me a moment. There you go. Right. I think that's good. Yeah. Alright. That looks perfect. That made me notice that. That's why I couldn't tell if the set, because that's so thin. I could then finally see that the table was out of kilter, but I'm good now. Like a pro. God damn, I'm good at this. Holy shit. God damn, I'm good at this. Maybe I should bring, considering Eric back, worrying about what he's gonna order. Holy shit. So good. Amazing at this. Anyway, enough about me. this is the omnipotent old man alters the universe stream. Yes. Changing things on the fly. I enjoy this stuff. Honestly, some of the parts I enjoy the most, weirdly enough, is this sort of thing. I don't know why I enjoy this so much. The sort of silly, using real pictures to make stuff. I don't think I could ever give up this aesthetic. I don't think I ever could. There's a real joy in making these sort of real stuff, you know? Real, Yeah, you get what I mean. You get what I mean. The sort of real where'd that go? Okay. Yeah, this is the stuff I really like, and I really like this aesthetic, this sort of real aesthetic. It's that sort of repurposed art aesthetic. Yeah, I suppose in a way it is. Because I'm just repurposing videos. All of my backgrounds are just pictures I took that I liked the look of. My, ending stream, my nighttime chat stuff is the same. It's just, this was just a picture of a room in one of the houses I lived in that I sort of set up to look rather aesthetic, and I'm still very proud of that rose, which is not a rose. It's a tie that I folded into the shape of a rose. But it just, it made me... It just makes me happy doing this sort of thing. So I don't think I could ever... So many people come in and going like, oh, I could sell you art. I feel like they've given up recently, though, which is really nice. I don't know. I've had a lot less people turning up on my streams and trying to sell their wares, which is fun. And I've only had a couple of people on Discord. Even the Discord people have stopped doing it recently. I guess they've all told each other that old man has no money. But I if I were to make somebody pay... If I were going to pay someone to art, it would be these small things. Like the stuff, this sort of thing. This is called spammers haven't. Well, they keep going after you. They've not spammed me much. But yeah, this sort of thing is maybe what I'd get people to do for me. Or maybe I'd get them to make borders for my streams. Or maybe get them to make like a unique CC or whatever it is that they call that thing that makes sort of like the captions. Like, because a lot of people have like a unique chat look. I wonder if I could get that, They're coming in from the Twitch link. Oh, are they? I don't see a lot of them. Clearly I'm missing them. Clearly they don't talk to me. Nobody likes talking to me. But, yeah, sort of like, maybe I'd get them to make more chat borders, or maybe borders for the whole stream, or maybe like a unique border for the today's drink, and it's like a border with today's drink imprinted in the border or like frame. Maybe I'd get them to make a stinger where where it changes stream, goes shoom, like a cool animation. That's probably what I'd do, but no matter what, these pieces of art would have to be based around my sort of real aesthetic that I already go for. Because in the final background, I have the golden border. And yeah, maybe I'd get them to make like a unique chat box for me, so I can make my chatters look unique. Maybe I'd get them to do that, because I have no idea how that stuff works. Most of this stuff was done by me and my nephews, just like tracing and trying to make some stuff together. Like, we just looked up a heap of Celtic knots and stuff like that, and sort of pulled them together with some tracing and some sort of things to create these patterns. So it was a heap of different, like, broken up patterns, and we sort of took the patterning, drew them, and then sort of linked them together in certain ways to create each border and stuff like that. This was all made on, like, GIMP, actually, GIMP. So it's all very handmade, Even a lot of the art is. So that's the only thing I'd ever commission, Is maybe updating some of the sort of stuff. But it's just... Even all my Twitch About Me section is done by me. And I like it. I enjoy it. I enjoy this sort of stuff. I just can't think of anything I would do. Maybe I'd get a better ending stream. My stream ending is a bit... This is extremely handmade. Using some PowerPoint. I think this was made using... I'm just going to jump to it. I'm going to go mute for a while because it automatically mutes when I go to this. Yeah, mute. There you go. This was, I believe, made by me in PowerPoint. This is just one of the PowerPoint sort of things. It's just a PowerPoint background, like one of the set themes for PowerPoint. I'm pretty sure. Very basic. So, yeah. It's all very handmade, and all the music is done by my nephew. All the music I've done is is done by my nephew, who produces music. The music you're listening to now, though he does complain about this specific theme. He thinks he doesn't do the balancing, it gets too loud. He sometimes thinks it's a bit messy. So maybe you never know, maybe he'll end up making a new one. Maybe I'll have to ask him. I've paid him for this stuff, by the way. I've paid him mates rates, of course. And he did get my computer that I left in Australia for free, essentially. So people complain about Photoshop, but they keep using it anyway. Well, GIMP is Photoshop. It's just Photoshop. And it's not that hard to use. I'm pretty sure there's a way you can make GIMP into Photoshop. Yeah. You can. There's a GitHub link immediately for where you can edit GIMP to be Photoshop. The GNU image manipulation program into a layout that feels similar to Adobe Photoshop uses. It just does that. You can just make it Photoshop. So, if you're good at Photoshop, you can just make it into GIMP. You can make GIMP into Photoshop, and GIMP's free. It has pretty much all the same things into Photoshop. But maybe you should just learn a new program. Anyway, I started on GIMP. I really never liked Photoshop that much. I've used it before, but I was very basic with my sort of editing software before this. Then I've used MS Paint. I've tried GIMP, but it's very difficult. It takes a while to get used to, but I've used it for years now. Because I worked for a lot of, I've done a lot of charity work, and when you're doing charity work, they often need some graphic stuff done, and if we didn't have someone who was volunteering to use their copy of Photoshop, sometimes you just had to do it on whatever computer you had. And often I just used MS Paint, or whatever cheap, easy phone editor I got, photo editor I could get, to make these sort of graphics and stuff. But GIMP was introduced to me, and it's free. And yeah, it's a bit clunky sometimes, but ultimately, if you don't know how to do something, just look it up. And I don't do much. I'm not out here doing crazy stuff. And I'm not doing crazy masking, but you notice how I do. All of my stream thumbnails are done, and I've done some really good work with my stream thumbnails. Like sometimes, especially some older ones I did a lot of really good work with, where I made these really fun thumbnails, like that one Hitman stream where I almost managed to perfectly blend me into the picture, so I looked like I meant to be there. That sort of stuff you can do on GIMP. It's a bit clunky sometimes, but it's just... Photoshop is going to be difficult too. But I don't know how much experience you have with it. All these photo editing programs I find are just as difficult to each other to learn. It just depends on which one you decide to learn. It's just how I am. Just how I am. I feel like we've all gotten very distracted. But yes. I've enjoyed it. And it's very easy to use. What I found. All those free programs have clunky UIs from the 90s. Yeah, well. Hell, from what I've heard, most people who deal with Photoshop seem to have a clunky UI as well. It's all about learning the shortcuts, I found. I'm very quick these days once I learned all the shortcuts. Now I'm fucking fast as lightning, mate. Shortcut and everything. Scale, rotate. Like the various shortcuts for your sort of like lasso and square and all that sort of thing. Thing is, I don't do much. This was very simple. This was a simple lasso cutout. I just simply lassoed this whole thing. That's one of the problems. Yeah, I suppose it's all shortcuts. But I always found that with what I used to use when I've used Photoshop before, it's the same thing. Everyone's always like, oh, you just gotta learn the shortcuts. And that's why it's hard for people to go from one program to another, is because they all learn different things. And they also have different tools that are sort of seen as basic. Photoshop has a lot of basic tools that GIMP has, that GIMP doesn't have. Or you need to do 2 steps to do the same tool, to sort of do the same effect. But GIMP can also be edited to have more tools, whereas Photoshop's a lot less editable. So you can add more tools to GIMP. Yeah. DOS Word Perfect relied on shortcuts a lot. Well, that's true. Shortcuts are a thing that are there because they're supposed to streamline things, and you know, if you don't choose not to learn shortcuts, well, I can't really make you, but they are. Oh boy, that's why they're called shortcuts. There's a reason they're called that. There is a reason they're called shortcuts. There is a reason they're called shortcuts. These days, like selection wheels and ribbons. Well, we talk about the hexagons are not the best UI, Tiberian. Going after the hexagons? Were you selecting the colours out of the giant hexagon made of hexagons? Telling me that's not the best way to make a UI? To choose colours? But yeah, yeah. I don't know why a lot of the image manipulations always just have those giant sort of boxes full of all the tools. I love Super Hexagon. The ultimate. You know what I find funny is, I still don't know if they still have it now, but I remember a few years back, and as a joke, some of the stuff in these screens were made using really old tools that Microsoft Word still had. Like, you can still find their old, like, textures and, like, word art. For some reason, you could still, like, unbury the ancient word art menu and make old-ass word art on Microsoft Word. You can still use the old rainbow and the old, like, fossilized fish texture, but the problem is it's so low-res now. Like, if you, on a modern computer, if you pull up those old fossilized fish textures and stuff like that, it's still like Windows, still like Windows, like 95 resolution. So they're so crunchy. They haven't lost their pixels. It's so beyond. Computers these days are so high res, you can really see the pixels. It's hilarious. I don't know why they've decided to do that, but it's very funny. Remember making banners on continuous printer paper? Ah, yes. Man. I love that sort of thing. Continuous printer paper. Do you remember making goddamn punch cards? Making databases with punch cards, eh? I remember sitting in a dusty basement with the world's largest pile of punch cards, going through paper records and punching in people's names in a university. I do. That was before my time. I don't even remember the one I was doing the punch cards on. But I remember it was sort of like a volunteer thing that we did. Was one of the departments was trying to digitize using punch cards, and we were making a database of all the students. And so we had all the students' details, and we had to slowly go through one by one, trying to enter each person's details into the right place. Oh, it was a nightmare. Never asked me to do that again, honestly. I'd have rather rewritten all those paper records by hand, to be frank. But, you know, we had sort of ways of... There were paper records, like paperwork. Digitize my client's client records for embroidery business. My god. But it was fun, you know, the program was interesting, and it was good, I'll admit. So, it was interesting. It was interesting. Couldn't remember. I never really learnt much about it, to be honest. Computers weren't really my interest. Also copying 72k floppy disks for an embroidery machine. It's really fascinating how that stuff was so quickly used for those sort of machines, embroidery machines, printing, that sort of thing. I guess they really matched together quite well. I've considered once getting an embroidery machine for no other reason than, I don't know, I was kind of bored and kind of wanted an embroidery machine to embroider things for me. One of those things where I was like, maybe I'll start making embroidery. There was a lot of cool punch card stuff. I always enjoyed it. They were fun. They were fun. I can't remember the one we used. God, why can't I remember? It's on the tip of my tongue. I've lost it. I'd have to go ask the other people that are there with me. This, yeah. One of my siblings would remember. Floppy disks I found were quite useful. Everything was so slow. You forget how slow things were, you know? A big industrial machine that could avoid 7 pieces of clothing at once. Yeah. Oh, those things. God, those things. Oh my god, I remember those things. Reminds me of the old industrial printers, too. Those things were frightening. I remember once being in a printing plant for one of the local papers. I don't know why. Those things are frighteningly dangerous. So expensive to replace. Yeah. No, they're a sort of one-and-done piece of machinery. It's why you look back at some of these printing offices and they haven't updated... A lot of them hadn't updated their machinery since they got the damn things, and it was... You know, places were still replacing their old printing machinery in, like, 2000s. Why would you ever need to? It works. You know, got the plates right, you're fine. But... God, those things were dangerous. These days, you have to admit, a lot of modern pieces of machinery these days, they're a lot safer, I'll tell you that. A lot of automatic shutoffs and that sort of thing. Back then, if you got caught by the printer, well, I guess you're on today's news. Congratulations, you've made the front page. At least parts of you have. Oh god, those pieces of machinery were scary to be close to. The amount of accidents that happen in print shops. Yeah. Like half the printers I knew had missing fingers, or at least missing tips of fingers. Because something went wrong, they tried to change it, and then the guillotine started working again. Yeah. Ugh. Terrible stuff, too. Because you could ruin a whole ream. That sort of stuff. And that's the real problem, not the fact a finger was cut off. That's replaceable. We've gotten terribly distracted. Anyway, give me a moment. I've had like 3 cups of tea already. I'm gonna go fulfill some responsibilities on the porcelain throne. Luckily, something that hasn't changed in many a year, except for the addition of the bidet, which is a very good addition. Porcelain throne always needed its one electronic component, the bidet. Anyway, I'll be back in a moment. Does this? Interesting. I've not set up the things for that, so you know what? We'll do it by hand today. So, I'll hide myself. So, visiting the porcelain throne. Unhide. Then I'll hide myself. Then I'll mute myself. Damn. Hotkeys are really useful. I'm back. How are we all feeling? I'm back with another cup of tea. Oh, whoops. You know what I forgot to do? Change the stream. I thought I edited the stream. Whoops. Yeah, I accidentally forget to edit the Twitch stream to actually... It's still saying I'm playing Yakuza. Whoops. Are you just yakking? Am I? Am I just yakking? I'm just yakking. Just like just chatting, except I'm just shooting the shit. That's what I'd have called the shit. That would have been what I'd called this, the type of stream on Twitch. I'd have called it just shooting the shit. Spinning a yarn. 1 minute timer. That's what the Twitch category would have been. Shooting the shit. That's what we say in Australia. Doing some plumbing. Perfect. The perfect name. Genuinely the only reason I use Siri. I've got an Apple Watch, an old, cheap Apple Watch that I've been using for years. And generally the only reason I use Siri on it is for timers. When I'm cooking. Because I can just, instead of having to find a timer and press it, I can go, you know, I talk into my watch and it goes, and I go 1 minute timer. And then it does 1 minute timer. Or timer for 5 minutes. And then I'll go off and do something. Because I am a very distracted, as you can tell. If I don't put a timer on, I'll forget I'm brewing tea. I am terribly distracted. I'm the kind of person who used to cook, and if he left something, if he went and did something while his food was cooking, if it wasn't within my eyesight, I would immediately forget it existed. And because of that, often how I knew my food was cooked is I'd be relying on my sense of smell. I've quite a sensitive sense of smell, so I'd often rely on smelling the food being done to remind myself the food was done. Sometimes, though, if the wind was in the wrong direction or the breeze was blowing the smell away from me in the house, the breeze, I would just forget until I had the terrible smell of something burning. So, yeah. The one good thing about this apartment that I currently am in, and being a tiny Japanese apartment, is that my kitchen is within eyesight of my computer. So, I'm often not forgetting things as much, which is good. And these days, I just, even in Australia, I just gave up. I would always forget. So, either it was timers, egg timers, any kind of timer, but if I forgot to put the timer on, I got distracted and put the timer at the wrong time, or something like that. Or I forgot to do anything. Yeah, timers. I'd often just, put the oven on the right time. I do too. When the smell of food starts filling my house, it usually means my food is almost done. I'm glad everyone else does this. I'm terrible. I keep forgetting food exists. Oh, I'm awful with it. I'll, boil a pot of tea. Sometimes, some mornings, I will boil a pot of tea 3 times till I actually remember to make a fucking cup of tea sometimes. It's absurd. It's half the reason I don't drink a cup of tea most of the time, unless I've got sort of objective where I need to drink tea before it. Then I'll have the cup of tea. I'll make some tea, put it in a thermos for work, and then I'll just forget the thermos on my fucking bench. I'm sick of it. It's followed me my whole goddamn life. I put a tea in a bottle, or a tea in a cup, or I put all this stuff on the bench. I get a water bottle. I'm terrible. I'll tell you what. Good thing I don't make coffee. Actually, I probably remember to make coffee. At least coffee, you don't have to wait for it. You just sort of turn on the coffee machine and then make your coffee. It's sort of a very involved process. Tea is a lot more of a wait around process, so I always overbrew my tea because I forget about it, or I get distracted and then I end up leaving it there for 10 minutes. ADHD maybe, almost certainly. It's a very mild form of it. When I was a child, my mother thought I had Asperger's. Well, autism spectrum disorder, I suppose what they call it these days. Most of my nephews and nieces have some form of... My whole family has some form of mental health stuff. You know, our grandmother was almost certainly Asperger's. My grandmother was almost certainly Asperger's. Very, very much so. I suppose you just call her ADHD. And my sisters, amongst my sisters and brothers, we've all got our special mental health problems. A lot of us have, like, at first, a lot of people thought it was Asperger's because it was a sort of a new thing back in the day. So it was Asperger's autism. Asperger's was sort of like the high-functioning version. These days, they call it autism spectrum disorder. I'd say I'm pretty low on the spectrum if I am autistic. But I actually did start going to a therapist just before when I was in Australia for a while, and he thought I had ADHD rather than autism. He thought it was more ADHD than autism, though often, especially when they're quite mild, they do cross over a lot. So I've got all the disadvantages. It's a reason I haven't had a proper career my whole life. I've got all the disadvantages of ADHD and none of the advantages. I always meet these people with these things that they keep saying, hyperfixation, hyperfixation this, hyperfixation that. Why didn't I get a hyperfixation? I got through my whole goddamn life and I'm old now and I never found anything I hyperfixated on. The only thing I hyperfixated on was doing whatever the hell I wanted at any time. And I don't think I ever... I did do the sort of test for ADHD, but never did the autism test. The test that all the VTubers take. Really? I've never taken... I've done the proper... I did with my therapist back in the day. Psychologist, sorry. Back in the day, I did one of the earlier forms of the ADHD test. And he thinks I had enough tics in the ADHD thing. But it was just not as much of a thing when I was a kid, you know? Autism was the big thing when I was a kid. Well, Asperger's, I suppose. I'm lucky they didn't do anything. And my mother more was a believer that God would... believe that that's just how our family was and that it was a good thing, you know? Never a more confident woman than my mother, you know? She believed everything we had was a blessing of God. Which did give me a very positive view of my own way of living. Maybe too positive. Never really motivated me to be, you know, very successful. There's a reason why. Well, I could probably retire, but I don't want to. Retirement seems devastating. I'm dying from cabin fever and my job is paying me to do nothing. Anyway, the pest all VTubers take, eh? All the VTubers test if they've got ADHD. Embrace autism, the RADS R test. A self-report questionnaire designed to identify autistic traits. I showed it on Discord. I think it's the same one I found. This is a really funny thing for me to suggest on... I'm gonna go... It's a really funny thing to suggest on the... For you, Eric! You're autistic, right? How long is it? God damn, it's a long-ass test. Jesus. But yes, it was, I do think I probably have a bit of a mismatch between, a mishmash of, like, low spectrum autism and low spectrum ADHD. At least that's how, at least I've managed to, it's hard to tell, because these days I've lived with it my whole life. I just sort of learned to live with it, and just kind of gave up ever being an extremely successful person. I don't think you exhibit a lot of the symptoms, but perhaps you were surprised. But the problem is, you know, I grew up in a family that this was a very common series of traits amongst us. Both the ADHD and the sort of autism traits. So what the psychologist I was working with a couple of years, a while back, said that he thinks we all just learned to live with it. And because we all had it, we didn't see it as a problem. We never had that sort of we didn't destroy our self-confidence because we were a sort of a unit. Our family was a very close unit for a long time. And we moved a lot when I was in my childhood, so we never really built those sort of communities outside of our family and the sort of community our family created in each area and created across the country. And that was just our family. That was just what the Winters family did. We were just those kind of people, and we were rather popular amongst the communities we were in. Helps that we ran the local charity, so it helps. But it's sort of like, I guess we just never really... There was never really that friction as much, because we all just lived with it. This was just how we were. And we never... At least my mother never stoked that sort of negativity towards our traits. So they sort of became sort of just how you lived, and you just learned to live with them, and we all just developed our own ways of handling it. Though it didn't work for all of our siblings. I was lucky. Some of my other siblings did need actual help. And, you know, praying and learning to live with it wasn't really going to help them. So eventually they did get the help they needed. And that also happened in some of my nieces and nephews, where they actually needed to go seek medical help. Like drugs and stuff like that would need to, and that's fine. But I just, what do they call it? Masking? I think that's what they call it. Where you just learn to live with it. Perhaps that's just what it is. I don't show many of the traits of autism, which is why my psychologist thought I was more ADHD than autistic. And when I was a kid, I really did have trouble with being hyperactive, being sort of not having that sort of ability to stop myself. You know? But as I got older, I became more restrained and more capable of controlling myself or figuring out what I needed, you know? My family deals with mental illness by self-destructing. Well, there was a few close moments with a few of my siblings and a few of my nieces and nephews. That almost happened. Like an oldest brother that I've not talked to in most of my life. I'm sure he's doing well. He is alive. That is as far as I'm aware. He's alive, he has kids, and probably they have kids of their own. He's alive. He is alive. He's probably the ones that needed the most help, but it's a bit more difficult to get it back then, I guess. But he's doing better these days. Runs his own business. So, I'll give it to him. Does very well. Occasionally I even seen him do speeches in various universities, so he's doing quite well. He's doing quite well. The worrying part is he sounds exactly like me. It's terrifying how the oldest brother sounds exactly like me, the youngest son. So the oldest son and the youngest son. We look and sound frighteningly similar. For people who have barely spent... I think the last time I saw him, I was like 20. Maybe even earlier than that, my late, teens. But somehow, the way we speak, the sort of vocabulary we use, the way we laugh, the jokes we tell, it's terrifying to see how similar we are. When we spent so little time together. We're practically strangers from each other, but we're so similar, it's bizarre, we could be twins. It's frightening. Frightening. So there's another me who's my doppelganger wandering about. And that's just my oldest brother. I haven't talked to him in decades upon decades. I did try and, we've crossed paths, I suppose, but never really any meaningful communication. I don't know if organism makes me a genius and a fucking idiot. Don't worry, I understand. I understand. I do have that too. You're like, I'm good at this. And then you're like, why can't I do anything? It's my whole life. Wow, I'm great at this. Why can't I do this? But, yeah, it's fun stuff. Fun stuff. It's interesting, families, eh? Just sort of never communicate with a person again. I do wonder if I'll ever meet him again. Yeah, if it happens, it happens. I'm just happy to know he's still good. I communicate with all of my other siblings. I'm rather close to them. We almost talk we talk at least once a week. Pretty much all of my siblings. Except for 2, but they're busy, so it's fine. They do occasionally turn up. I'm such a philosopher. I'm a dumb. Mate, I understand. There's a reason why I'm not rich. Anyway. It's interesting though. It's fun. You sort of just learn to live with it. You learn to live with it. Maybe I was meant to be a VTuber all along. You were by my side all along. I guiding moonlight. But my side all along. I don't know why that always gets... That's like such a earworm for me. Is that goddamn... Probably because I had to fight that boss so many times when I first played the Bloodborne DLC. And heard that goddamn cinematic all the time. You're at my side all along. My guiding moonlight. Yeah, maybe one of these days I'll do it. Maybe I'll do a stream where I do the autism test. The psychologist certainly thought I had ADHD. Specifically more weighted on the attention deficit side of the ADHD. The hyperactivity was fairly heavily curbed, but he did think that was more because I'm just older and I learned to curb the more dangerous parts of the ADHD. There's only so many times you can get yelled at by a boss at work, and there's only so many times you can screw up at work or get distracted at work or screw something up in personal life before you learn to curb the more hyperactive tendencies. When I was a kid, I was terrible with it. I remember to this day a time I fell asleep in a church service. Fell asleep in a church service. Not a great sign. And then when I woke up, I just said, like, that was a great sleep, to, like, the whole hall of people. I was, like, had to be, like, 10 or 11. But I was, like, I did that sort of thing, where I'd just do wild stuff, or it's not like I couldn't sit down, I wasn't that bad, but I just would let stuff... In the middle of my father's sermon, I, like, yelled, "Oh, I had a great sleep." I remember that to this day. I remember it. There's some more things that I did. Repeating lines from movie, TV, or video games in normal conversations. Oh, baby, I do that a lot. No, a lot of times it was music. Music was a big thing in our family. I've embarrassed myself a lot as a child. It's part of the reason I hated singing for a really long time was because I did something... I didn't think about it. I just did it, and it ended up embarrassing me quite badly. And for many years, it took me to kind of return to my love of singing. Because of that. And even these days, when I'm tired and upset, I can still feel that tug, that embarrassment, you know? I wonder if it made me bad at public speaking for a long time, too. Which is a pretentious film bro inside a girl's body. We're being smothered by Twitch chat. Oh, Twitch chat has gotten you? Give me a moment. I don't know how big Twitch chat is sometimes. Sorry about that. How big is it? There you go. Okay, you should be fine now. I gotcha. I gotcha. Ooh, 2 Twitch chats. Now give me a moment, I'm deleting this Twitch chat. Ooh. There you go. Autism variety. Yeah, I know, right? I'm having a great time. Point is, I just learned to live with it. I've never really felt it was a problem, you know? That's why I've always said I'm pretty low level. I've had it pretty good. I don't think I'd ever need to be medicated. The worst I've got is the fact that I don't ever really hyperfixate on things. I can have... Maybe I do, but maybe my hyperfixations don't last, you know? I've never really hyperfixated on a single thing for a long period of time. What do you have? I don't know. And incapability of focusing for anything, for any length of time. I had to do like 30-minute stints. Or I just have to hope inspiration strikes me. That's why I hated university. Writing big assignments was my hate. Except for Japan, you mean? I guess, but that's not one thing, you know? I didn't come to Japan just to focus on... Japan as a whole is a pretty big topic, so there's enough variety in it to jump back and forth. I think the only thing I really enjoy without stopping enjoying it is just looking at nature, but I don't really do anything with that. I just, go on drives sometimes and stare at the mountains and go, wow, this rice field looks great. I don't learn about the rice field. I don't get a job as a farmer. Whereas I feel like a lot of my colleagues and people that I have met that work in sort of Japanese companies, they love doing certain things, Can't focus on being big in Japan, yeah. Like this stream, it takes a lot. There's a very few habits I've managed to build. And I struggle with them. That's why, part of the reason why I don't really make schedules anymore, because I struggled so much making schedules that I'd end up streaming less because of the schedule. I'd underestimate, and then because I've made a schedule, I'd stick to the schedule, but then I'd end up streaming less than I could have, and then I end up getting stressed about it. So, I stopped making schedules when I had less time, and life was a bit more messy, and now I've got more time, but life is still a bit messy. It's hard. These are a lot of problems I have. These are my problems. Leave me alone. But again, it's just how I live. I always eating. Yeah, well, is eating a hobby? I guess if you like sort of making something, if I always see hobbies as something you sort of get special interest in, Like you sort of focus on it, like people who like going out to bars and trying a heap of different drinks, or people who like trains and learn all about trains. I have a guy that I know who works on trains in Japan, and he always talks about how he was so lucky that he was one of those guys who hyper-focused on trains, and he became a train engineer. Why couldn't I have had that? If you have a mukbang channel, it is. I suppose it is, yeah. Why couldn't I have had that? So Unikalbi does not equate to me. Yeah, I have that. I understand that feeling where you're always you see all these people, and all my life I've seen these people with unique hobbies and being able to focus on I'm great at art, and my siblings have a lot of really strong hobbies. One of my sisters is an extremely good painter, and my mother was a good painter as well. My grandmother was a good painter, but not on my mother's side. My grandmother, she was just an extremely good scientist, one of the few in her day and age. Extremely good lady scientist, working in pathology. Diseases in the life. It's a fascinating lady. Sort of an emerging field, I suppose. Especially as technology evolved into the post-war era. But yeah, no. So if I feel like everyone else, a lot of people in my family have managed to have these things they've managed to sort of make for themselves, but I never found it myself. Never found it. Yeah, c'est la vie. Working in bars is probably the closest I've ever gotten to having a hyperfixation. Video games, you could say, is a fixation, but I feel like that's just easy dopamine, so... And it's not one game, and I've never been able to play a game... not many games I've been able to play more than once. Even then, I can't get the same dopamine from playing a game again, unless I play it again on stream. And then that's a sort of a different thing, I guess. This stream has gone extremely off. We've gone off the stream. What are we doing? Trains, Legos, dinosaurs are all common hyperfixations. I know. Yeah, people put effort for a hobby. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough stuff. It's hard to find, and, maybe it's out there somewhere and I've just not found it. Maybe I haven't tried hard enough on one thing. I guess at one point I just became okay with not actually having it, so... Yeah, I've lived my whole life with this, so it's not gonna... it's the old man stubborn thing to say, but it's not gonna change now. A hobby in this economy? You are right, it is harder to have a hobby in this economy. I'll admit, I'm not envious of my nephews and nieces who have to have hobbies in this economy. One of my nephew's hobbies is bouldering. Which requires him to pay for a gym subscription, which can be pricey. Another one of my niece's hobbies is sort of like arts and crafts. She does painting, she does sort of sculptures, she does anything handiwork. Another of my nieces is just a homemaker, I suppose. Vtubing is a hobby. I know, but I just feel like I'm not trying hard enough, you know? Doing 5 years has made me really start getting self-conscious, and maybe I'm just feeling down right now. Maybe, you know, current events have probably put a bit of dampener on my emotions recently, but I just like noticing 5 years, maybe I'm getting to my own head about it, but it is a hobby, I suppose, but I feel like I'm not trying hard enough. You know, I'm not making YouTube I'm not trying to be successful. But I always say to myself, well, I didn't intend to try to be successful, so why am I feeling bad about not being successful? This was never the goal, and then I get my own head about it, and it spirals a bit. You see what I mean? I've been doing this, and I started these streams with the intention of not being successful, but then a few times I tried to be successful, and it didn't work out, and then maybe I felt bad about it, I don't know. Maybe I'm not trying because I'm trying not to fail, I guess. This is getting very therapist talking. You guys don't need to hear this. I'm gonna start, like, ranting like I'm in front of a therapist. You guys aren't my therapist. Calm down. It's okay. Let's stop it there. But yes, trying not to fail or failing to try, that whole thing. But I intended to not try that hard, so the argument, I suppose. I feel like I could try harder, is the point. I feel like I could try harder. Are you kidding me? I was Mrs. Trauma Dump. It's true, but, you know, that's true, but I feel bad about it sometimes, you know, you guys are my therapist. I PS2, I read, I write, I cook, I used to program. You can get a lot of hobbies if you stop caring about the house. It's true. So out of the anniversary, the only recommendation I have is a long stream. Yeah, maybe we should just pick a day, do a proper long stream. It's been a long time since I've done a really long stream. It's true. Yeah. It's been a while since I've done a really long stream. I would have had the shy shit, you'd see true fucking crazy. I have very low level stuff. My stuff is just me spiraling in my own head, and this is why I go hang out with people. And karaoke, I guess? Could be a good idea, The things I want to get to do an anniversary stream, well, we could do that. If I can get the things I need to get physically, I want to get a second camera. I want to get a really long HDMI cable so I can still see this portable monitor I have. I can put it at the bar. And I want to make cocktails on stream. That's definitely something I want to do, because it's sort of something I've always done for anniversary streams. Cook again? We could cook brownies. Because if we set myself up in the kitchen, we could cook brownies, make drinks. That might be a good idea. And that could take a while. Back to the roots, poetry. You're right, we should throw some poetry in there. Let's make a list. If we just do one big, long stream, question is when to do this stream. Who's up for poetry? Something involving your old streams, like a kind of a ranking? Could be. One thing I've always wanted is for you guys to sort of give me a stream. I know you guys find it hard, just like I do, to sort of think back on streams. But, like, if you guys have any series of streams, like, series of, like, video, like, a set of streams, or a game that I played, or something that I did that you guys really liked. Really liked. And you're really happy with, and would like us to go revisit. I would like that too, so take a sort of viewer's suggestion sort of thing, where we go back and look at the streams. Maybe the first time some of you guys turned up. How about that? Let's go back and see the first conversations we ever had on these streams. Could be a good thing. Go back to some of the guys. I find it funny, I have a list of Eric's things to do. For the academic year 2026. I don't remember what it was, honestly. One of the PlayStation 2 streams, I think. We had finish some stream sounds and notifications, done. Make a schedule, nope. Exercise it all, done. Edit some videos, nope. Make a short, nope. And be more forgiving yourself, no. I still haven't done that. I'm currently Well, I've got two out of 6 things that I've I said I'd do this academic year that I haven't done yet. So we still got a couple of months. We've still got 8 months to get the other ones done. Let's go. All right. So anniversary stream. Anniversary stream. Stuff. So definitely we need to get the equipment. So I'd like to get another mic. If I could find a cheap lapel. I think it was the 2022 All Year's stream where I told you to sing All Stars. We could do that. I need to figure out how the others do it. Unfortunately, I don't have a fancy mic, so we're just gonna have to deal with whatever this mic is able to produce, or whatever lapel is. If I can get a lapel mic, I'd love a lapel mic. One of those like portable mics, so I can have it like on my shirt or something, so that I don't have to carry this thing around. First stream I chatted in was one of the Portal 2 streams, I think. Either Portal 1 or 2. I know that's the case. We're chatting a bit. Another camera. Camera. It's another piece of good. Of course, a tripod. Mic. And tripod. I should have brought one of the tripods I had in Australia. Didn't bring it. I had cameras in Australia too. I should have brought one of those. Oh well. Maybe I wouldn't arrive in time. Poetry. Maybe we should read some Japanese poetry. That could be fun. Go read some old Japanese poetry, some future predictions, more songs. Yeah. Karaoke. Maybe a ranking of streams. Ranking of streams, ranking streams, question mark, best of streams, best thumbnails maybe, ranking my best thumbnails, best of streams, best thumbnails. That'd be good. I'm pretty happy with the thumbnails. Yeah. I do wonder. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. Future predictions, perhaps? So I made that weird thing. Is that on the channel? Does it exist? Hey guys, look at the channel. Is there a video called T-Rant on the channel? I've just edited this out of a random stream. Have a look at it. It's not a short, but it does exist. Just made it into a video. It's just there. Does it exist? How does that look? What does it look like? I just used the YouTube clip maker. I assume I can download it myself? And I'd be able to download it. I could probably download it and make it into a short form video. I could only download it at 720p though. But short form doesn't really care. I just got a ping for it. Oh, interesting. It's just there. Me going mad. There you go. It's just me going mad about tea, and then it's suddenly ending. This is just like a very simple thing. Because this is maybe a way I can cut out sort of a clip, and then I can download just that clip to make... Still have that clip of Chicken Winters in the server. PlayStation 2 sound didn't even work then. That's because I keep saying it. That's why you guys have not noticed it working. It must have been broken for a while, but I'm so on top of it. I've always go, La PlayStation 2. It's probably my fault you guys didn't notice. There you go. Honestly, I might hide that, yeah. Make those unlisted now. Well, while I'm here, I'll change the geriatrogen E as my... Change a few things to unlisted. There you go. Interesting. Alright, I'm just going to change that to unlisted now. Sorry guys, it's gone. The geriatrogen E video is now public. And I might make it my channel introduction because it's stupid and it's funny. Why not? I'll make it my channel introduction. Add. And how do you do it? Yeah, channel shredder. There you go. Alright. Oh, I'm just changing stuff. Anyway, there you go. What does that look like? I think it's better to have the live thing. Doesn't it show me live? Why does I feel like some people have their channel being able to show that they're live. Am I crazy? Wasn't that a thing that YouTube did? It would show, like, live videos? Like, videos that are live? Crazy? Wasn't that something that channels did? Yeah, it shows that they're live. Oh, maybe it was just me not showing. Actually, no, I don't need a live now tab, because it's already got a show live now, isn't it? Yeah, so. Sorry, I got distracted. It says here you're live. Okay. Maybe it was just not showing it for a while. Weird. Weird. I shared a screenshot. Okay. Nice. Geriatrogen E. Stupid video. Not really a great introduction to the channel, but I think it's funny, so it's going to stay there. Oh god. Why is that broken? I'm gonna edit the description of the geriatrogen E though. Geriatrogen E. Geriatrogen E. And oh man, for all that ails ya. Old man for all that ails ya. There you go. That's the name of my channel trailer. Geriatrogen E. An old man for all that ails ya. And now I'll just go to the description of one of my live streams and just get all the stuff from the bottom of my live streams. Yeah, it's interesting. I've enjoyed this stuff, but there's a good few ideas we've got for what we should do. Got a good few ideas for what we should do. Because I do enjoy doing this stuff, and it'd be nice if I could get it. The thing is to get those, like, sort of, Oh, sorry. There you go. Terrible introduction, but it works. But sort of to get, yeah, those sort of things down. So now currently we've got poetry, karaoke, ranking, best of, best thumbnails, future predictions. What else can we do? Cooking brownies, cocktails and brownies, of course. Cocktails. Cooking. Alright. So, that could be a good stream. Good stream. For brownies, I've got all the stuff in the cupboards, that's fine. Should I cook something else? Maybe I should cook one of my Japanese meals. That would be good. Ones I cook these days, you know. Maybe I should make some, like, sort of, like, very Japanese stuff. Maybe I should make, like, shogayaki and miso soup. Make myself a Japanese spread. Could be good. Could be good. Maybe I should make some sushi. Vinegar some rice. Roll sushi, yeah. That could be good. I'm not very good at making sushi. I'm gonna be honest. I've made it before. But I've not really done it. Maybe I should gut a fish. Live on stream. Gut a fish. Take out its guts. Snap it open and then fry it up. I can do that. I've practiced that recently. I've practiced gutting a fish recently. Well, recently. Last year. Last academic year. And I spent some... I got invited by some of the students I was teaching to do one of their special classes. Where a whole heap of old Japanese ladies came and taught all the kids how to make, like fish soup. And various fish meals using, like, local, like, sardines and mackerel and stuff like that. And these giant sardines, and, well, giant compared to the sardines you get in a can. Quite large sardines. But, you know, they were like, oh, you should come with us. Eric-sensei, let's go do it together. And then I was like, I did this as a kid. All the old ladies were very impressed. Well, old to them, not to me. My peers. It's a heap of oldies, and all the oldies saw this old guy all the old ladies walked in. Oh, hello. I was certainly causing quite a buzz that day amongst all the middle-aged to older ladies that wandered in. They were like, ooh. And I walked in quite deftly, took the head off this sardine and made it ready, got its guts out. I used to do it as a kid. But, yeah. Interesting stuff, though. Interesting stuff. Could do sushi, though. Sushi would be fun. Sushi could be fun. Maybe try to do sushi and try to make some sushi. I'd have to get by some. I do... Could go there. That might be nice. Pick up some river fish and the like. Make some ayu. Sushi? Question mark? Could be fun, though. Could be fun. Learning new skills. Maybe we should do a section for, like, a new skill. Like, where we look it up and try and do something for the first time. Could make rice balls. Only kidding. Yeah, I was also terrible at that. But it could be something. Maybe a new skill. That could be a cool idea. I feel like a new, 5-year anniversary, but, an old dog can learn new tricks. That's maybe what we'll call the section. Old dog learning a new trick. Old dog. New trick. Learning a new skill live. Or maybe a skill I've done, but a very long time, but I wasn't very good at. My mother tried to teach me a lot of skills. Embroidery. She tried to teach me to embroider. Tried to teach me to sew. Never learned. Years since I bothered. So maybe we should try that. Fix a few buttons on a shirt. But like, that could be fun. Silly. I wouldn't do it for, like, cooking, though. I wouldn't do, like, a new cooking thing. I'd do, like, something like embroidery or sewing or painting, maybe. Painting is something I used to do, actually, but I was never very good at it, I should probably say. Do it Bob Ross? Maybe we should follow along with, like, a Bob Ross video. That could be fun. Problem is, it would be very hot to do in my apartment, but I'd just have to survive, I guess. It's gonna be very toasty. And that's why I kind of want to get one of those lapel mics, so I can do a bit more silly stuff. A bit more moving, because this is unfortunately a sort of dynamic microphone. So it's got a lot of... I can sit behind it, you can barely hear me. So it's very focused, and it's quite close range. So it's rather difficult to keep a good volume for stream, because that's something I always find when I get other people to listen to my streams. I often find that people... The only comment I ever get is they're sort of a little quiet. My streams... The way I speak can be a little quiet. But... We'll see. We'll see. I am sick of this goddamn video. On Twitter that keeps turning up. But anyway, yeah, so I think we've got a good few ideas. But if we do a long stream, I feel like I should start early. What's a long stream mean to you people? What does long mean? What does long mean to all of you? Eh? Is that like a 6-hour stream? Is that a 9-hour stream? Is that a 12-hour stream? What's long for you people? Eh? What does long mean? Why did YouTube notification? Long stream. Sorry. That's one thing that I watched once or twice and immediately... got me. That is something that I did once. 10 hours would consider long. 5 hours for 5 years should be sufficient. Okay. That could be fun. 5 hours, 5 years. That's fun. That's fun. That's fun. I like that. That's clever. Anyway. I got distracted. I got distracted again. God, I'm terrible at this. Long stream. But 10 hours is long, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because it'll definitely take an hour or so to make things like brownies. To make cocktails, it would be a few hours, like an hour or so. Especially if we're making like a new cocktail and we're testing things. Could be fun. Other things. One of the other ideas we had. Karaoke. That'll be like 30 minutes. I can't imagine I can sing for very long. Especially without any practice. Old dog, new trick. I'd give an hour to that. I think we've got plenty for this. Question is, would I be able to organise that in the next week? Or the next 10 days until this month is over? That may be more difficult. We'll see. Depends how busy I get. And I might see if my nephews... That would be a very long ranking stream, and I barely remember them, to be honest. I feel like one rank would be like, I don't remember this goddamn game at all. But... I suppose that is a possibility. Best of streams, best thumbnails, best games of the past 5 years. Elden Ring's definitely up there. Elden Ring DLC, just like the Game Awards, is also up there. Monster Hunter. But yes, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. Could always do calligraphy live on stream. That could be fun. Get some, like, it's really cheap and easy to get calligraphy ink, calligraphy paper, and stuff because it's part of, like, school. It's like sort of like school supplies. So you can often get calligraphy stuff for really cheap. So maybe that should be the old dog new trick. Maybe we should try out calligraphy. Not trying to do some, like, kanji in, like, the really fancy proper way. Shame I can't invite somebody I know that knows calligraphy to judge me. The brush kind, yeah. Like getting some Japanese brushes out. Because it's very cheap in Japan, because it's like, it's part of the school curriculum. It's one of the subjects they do. And often, I've done it 3 or 4 times over my years, where I've just been invited. You know, the teacher of a class, the calligraphy teacher is like, oh, Eric Sensei, you should come and do calligraphy with us. It'll be really fun. So I've done calligraphy that way before, but I've never moved. But it'd be nice to try and, like, properly do it. Like, maybe do a heap of them, or try and make a sentence or something like that, you know? Maybe do some haikus. Really lean into the Japanese way of doing. Gonna buy the ash brick, too. I don't know if I'll do that. The kids mostly do liquid ink. So they'll have the little thing, the sort of little tray that has the high part of the tray and the low part of the tray. You fill up the low part of the tray with ink. You sort of brush up onto the high part of the tray while twisting to sort of get your brush into the right shape and get most of the ink off. Then you go the shoo, 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 shoo. But I'll have to look it up to make sure I'm doing it properly. I probably wouldn't buy the ash brick. That's expensive. I think that's the bougie stuff, where you do like the you get the water in that sort of tray and then you scrape it back and forth to make the ink. That's more expensive. The kids mostly use just the ink stuff. I forgot what they call it, like the block of ink. Ink blocks. And ink sticks, sorry. Yeah, it's like the sort of traditional ink. Like the ink stick. What's it in Japanese again? It's in Japanese. Sumi. It's just called sumi. I should have probably guessed that. Because that means charcoal. Well, that's the same pronunciation as sumi, which is charcoal. And it's probably made of charcoal. So, nara sumi is the fancy one. But yeah, so I wouldn't bother getting one of those, but you're supposed to scrape. You get like a special tray for that, and then you scrape it, and it's a whole thing, and then you make the ink. But no, I'd probably just use the normal ink these days. That's what they use, the pourable ink. As fancy as it would be, but at that point, I may as well start getting into fucking goddamn tea ceremony as well. That could be an idea, though. So, we put calligraphy on the list. Could be fun. Could be fun. Just do like a flower arranging. Start just doing a heap of Japanese skills. Do like a blind taste test of a heap of sakes, but I'd need somebody else for that. Anyway, let's pause there for a moment. That's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I should have done this earlier in the month, but I've been not doing well. I haven't been doing well, guys. I'll have to admit. I haven't been doing well. Sort of mentally, I suppose. I haven't been really having the stuff to sort of work it. Hide. Show. Caption. Show. Okay. Give me a moment. I can test something. Does this work? Yes, it does. Alright. Give me a moment. We can pause there for a moment as I go to Pulse and Throne again. I've had so many cups of tea. It's just gone straight through me. Back in a moment. Right, I'm back. Honestly. Should have done this stream earlier in the month. Especially because I'll be busy Friday, I'll be busy Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So, I won't be able to do anything for those 3 days. You know, the more we do this stream, this scene, I'm really loving this scene. I'm sorry guys, I'm loving this. This looks so good. I don't know, I've loved this picture ever since I took it, so I'm really glad I'm using it, and now I just love it. I'm falling in love with it. It makes me look really far away. Before, when I had it before, I looked even further away. Before I was going to have it so you could see the door, but chat was going to sit on the door. But then, that would have been too far away, it would have been like tiny. So, I'm loving it. I'm honestly, we might keep using this. This might be the new starting stream look. We might just start always behind the table. Maybe I should travel back to this place, take the same photo in different seasons, and then I can change it in different seasons. Can't remember if this one is in summer. I think this might be early summer, this picture. So like everything started to go green. Maybe I should take it like, go back to this place, hours away, take a picture in winter, and hours away, take a picture in autumn, hours away, go back hours away and take a picture in winter, and just change it each season. That might be funny. Yes, I also might, maybe even today, I might do it. I might scour the second-hand shops, see if I can't find any pieces of equipment for cheap, like a second camera and a tripod. They should be pretty cheap in the second-hand shops. They should do what we need. The only reason I want a second camera is so I can still have me moving. Because when I was using my phone as the camera during the sort of cooking streams and stuff, it sort of made it a pain in the ass. Because you could only see me, like, sort of have the PNG. But if I could have me controlling the camera on my phone, that also would keep them separated. The two cameras separated. Which would be good. I'd also need a cord, like a USB, to attach the camera to the computer. But we can see about that. This would be a whole day thing. I'd have to sort of rearrange my apartment so it would work. But I think we could pull it off if I can get another mic. One that's hopefully a more lapel mic, so it doesn't matter where I am, you're still getting it. I might be able to find that for cheap in one of the second-hand shops. Problem is, well, if I just use the lapel mic, then I can just attach it to the this audio interface. That's fine, I think, because we wouldn't use the Shure, and we can change back to the Shure if we wanted to. That might be fine. That'd be good. I'll try that. The new camera and a tripod just to have a camera to look at the bar where we're cooking, our cooking service. Maybe I'll get 3 cameras and set it up so I can change between them. Anyway, I think we've had a very constructive argument. I think we had a nice chat too. I've enjoyed today. I really need to do these more. Every time I do it, I say, I enjoy just chatting away. I should do these more, and then I don't do them. A man of... It's the same thing with hanging out with people. I'm like, wow, I really enjoyed this. I should do this more often. And then I forget to, or I get my own head about it, and I don't organize things. So it's fun. It's fun. Though... You should. I should do these more. I guess I'm terrified that if I do it one day and no one turns up. I think that's the thing that sometimes causes it. Because all it needs to be is a very mild bit of emotional distress. The tiniest bit. And I'll sort of put it off, and then I'll forget about it. Then it'll leave my mind and I won't think of it again. Like, that's why I often struggle with messaging people or inviting people to things, because if I don't just sit down and do it, if I go, oh, you know what, I'll think about that message later, I'll do it later today, I'll forget about it and I won't remember it until I'm in the middle of another activity. And then I'll go, God damn it, I need to message that person. And then I'll go, oh, but I'm in the middle of something right now, so I'll do it later. And then I never remember it. It's that small bit of a sort of like difficulty. It's like, it takes the smallest amount of sort of emotional energy use to sort of make me go, ooh, I'll put it off a bit later, but the moment I do that, I will forget. And that'll be like weeks later, and then I've had friends that I haven't invited out for like months because I just don't think to invite them out, or I forget to invite them out. That's why I only have like 3 friends that I've kept over my life, and why I mostly talk to my family, because often they just call me. I don't have to. We just all just call each other in random amounts, so we all just sort of get ourselves enough talking. So there's another problem with me. But that's the sort of thing with these streams. I'm like, oh, if I do too many talking streams, people... and then I do, oh, well, I'll do a talking stream next time. And often I do talking streams because I am having sort of mild emotional problem. Sort of like, I'm not feeling, as the kids say, I'm not vibing, like doing a normal game stream. So I'll often do a just chatting stream because that feels right. My life is built around things that feel right. I'm like, ooh, it feels right to play this game. It feels right to do this. And when I was having decision paralysis, I was like, no, it's good. We're going to do this stream. And by doing this stream, I'm committing to it, you know? By doing this stream and we're organizing it together as a community, I'm making the promise. And these sort of promises I can keep. It's almost part of the reason why I'm scared to make a schedule. Because of the lack of schedule in my actual job. I'm worried to make that promise and then fail to keep it. Because of that, I don't make any promises. It's a whole thing. I know myself very well, so I know how to get around things, but sometimes you just can't handle it. Like, it is true. I can't really make a schedule because I don't know when my work is going to be. Because I am on call every day of the week. So it kind of makes it difficult to make streams. Especially if I were to say, oh, I'll make these streams are definite, the rest of them are sort of guerrilla, random streams. But if I play a game that I'm going to play in a later stream, in one of the guerrilla streams, then end up finishing that game, then I'm going to have to change the schedule anyway, and that's a pain in the ass. But then I'd have to have games that are specifically guerrilla stream games. Or guerrilla stream concepts. I suppose that could work. Maybe I'm just talking myself out of it. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe that's it. Maybe I am stupid. Yeah, I'm stupid. Ah. We should also play another game in Japanese. That's something we need to do. We put on the list of things I want to do in like later streams. We should play another game in Japanese. Maybe I should change one of the games I'm currently playing. Maybe I should play the DLC for Neo 3 and change everything into Japanese. No, I won't do that. I know Neo 3 wasn't the most entertaining thing for most people to watch, so I'll probably play the DLC for myself. I'll play the DLC on my own. You guys don't have to watch me play the DLC for Neo. Maybe Mortal Shell, that came out today. Could play that. Because currently we've just got Yakuza, and the Yakuza streams are going to be a lot longer. It's going to be a lot of Yakuza streams. And anyway, this stream, this anniversary stream will probably not be until at least a week from now, I'd say. Because even then it might be a bit later than that, because next week I'm also very busy. It depends how much I can organize of it in this next coming week. And maybe it'll end up just being next week, on like next Friday, or maybe it'll end up being quite close to the end of this month or the beginning of next month. It really depends. Haven't played Command & Conquer after all these years? You are right. Did I end up buying Command & Conquer? Give me a moment, I have to search my own... Did I own Command & Conquer? I don't think I did. Did I buy it? Where did I buy it? I must have owned Command. I feel like I remember buying it, but I don't know where it is or what it's called. Where are my lists? Where are you gone? Steam. Yeah, I thought so. It's just a massive list. It's somewhere around here. It was on Tales a few years ago. Yeah, I feel like I did buy it, didn't I? I'm just have to go. I'm just blind. I'm gonna have to go through one by one at some point. I'll look at it later. And if somehow I said I did and didn't, or bought it somewhere else, then I'll just buy that. That could be a good idea, though. I haven't played Command & Conquer on stream. That could be good. Or the Fear games, too. We did consider playing the Fear games as well. I have those, too. I'll look at it again. It's fine. Where the hell is my ampersand gone? Goddamn Japanese keyboards! It was on Discord. Yeah, yeah. Pretty sure I did it. There it is. Okay, no, I did buy it. It's fine. Yes. Yeah. I did buy it. I'm pretty sure. This is all part of like a bundle. That's like $7. I'm pretty sure. Though you can't buy a single one because they're all under like EA, aren't they? Yeah, anyway, that's something else. Yeah, for some reason I couldn't find it on my list, but there it is. It's C, of course. I'm stupid. Yeah, they're all EA, but it's funny, if you look at them on Steam, you could get a subscription. Get a subscription. See, for can't we just use Discord? It's true. That's true. Yes. Okay. Good stuff. I'm surprised Command & Conquer one of those games. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. See, for can't we all just use Discord? Yeah, the Command & Conquer games. There's so many of them. Maybe when I bought them, they could only buy one because I've got a few out of the bundle, but not the whole bundle. Maybe I'll just buy the rest of the bundle. I got a few of the Command & Conquer games, but not all of them. It must have been a different bundle back in the day. Or did I just not buy the bundle? Maybe I only bought a few of them just because I thought I was only going to buy a few of them. That was before, because I'm pretty sure there was no EA subscription instead of a purchase button back in the day. It was a purchase button, so... Anyway. Yeah, so that's thing to consider. I kind of want to play another old PlayStation 2 Japanese game. Maybe not a horror game this time. Maybe a different horror. Maybe not a horror game. Maybe, I don't know what I'd do if we're not playing a horror game, but maybe I'll play some sort of weird Japanese game. Maybe one of those really bizarre ones. Maybe not a Japanese game necessarily. Was it a Japanese? It was a Japanese game, but was it a PlayStation? That really bizarre monster ranching one. Maybe we could play that one. With all the weird looking monsters. Nah, we should play the ultimate game. Seaman, or whatever that one was. That weird Seaman game about the weird fish man. That weird game for the Dreamcast. Caution, Seaman. And it was ported to the PlayStation 2 under the name Seaman Kindan no Pet. Kindan no Pet. Gaze Hakushi no Jikin Shima. Became the third best-selling Dreamcast game in Japan. Truly. The world's most amazing game. I wonder if there is a functional port for that game, do you think? Ugh, good stuff. I feel like there was something else I was planning to do today. I've forgotten. Oh, I've forgotten, mate. You know what was really stupid? I bought something. I did something very stupid recently. I bought naan bread that was like on clearance. Like cheap naan bread. And then I didn't make curry. I made spaghetti bolognese. Don't know what was wrong. I don't know why I did that. It's very strange. Now I'm gonna have to like do something with it. Maybe I'll make curry for like maybe make it like a tiny curry, or I don't know, make a curry. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'll have to figure it out. Sauce. Sauce? Sauce? Sauce for what? Curry sauce? Make curry sauce? Or buy curry sauce? Sauce up the naan? Oh, maybe I should get one of those packet curries. They do sell those. Spaghetti bolognese? Yeah. Spaghetti bolognese. We just call it bolognese. In Australia, we just call it spaghetti bolognese. That's the name of the meal. In Australia. Spaghetti bolognese is the name of the meal. It's the whole thing. Spaghetti bolognese. We don't say sauce, we just say spaghetti bolognese. If we're referring to the sauce itself, then maybe we'd say bolognese sauce. But if I'm talking about the whole meal, it's spaghetti bolognese. That's just always what I've said. I don't say anything. Spaghetti bolognese. Bolognese. Maybe I should use the spaghetti bolognese sauce as if I've got a curry sauce and just dip the naan bread into it. Could be good. Could be good. Maybe I'll make a pizza naan. The most powerful pizza naan. Great thing, actually. Yesterday, I went on a bit of a trip. I did my shopping yesterday, actually. And I managed to come across this place that wasn't too far away. So I had these, like, gift cards for like a shopping center at a couple of towns over that I got for winning getting second in a local tug of war competition. It's a whole thing. Did some tug of war. It's good times. Tsunahiki. Good fun. Little local thing. My friend was doing it and they invited me to do it with them. We lost most of our matches. We got second out of 3. We got like... Well, last year we got second out of 2. This year we got second out of 3. So, good job. But the other team was just like a family with their 2 kids. The team we beat was just like a family with 2 kids. It was like a grandma, a mother, a father, and 2 children. So we wiped the floor with those kids. Those kids they stood no goddamn chance. We kicked those kids' asses. But the other team was the local fireys, and they kicked our ass. The local fireys were like, "You're done, mate." So we didn't really win, let's be honest, but I got some things. So I went to that supermarket, and I discovered that supermarket has like a giant butcher's. Like a huge butcher's. It's great. in like a weird side part of it, like its own building. Huge butchers. And they sold beef and chicken and meat for really, really cheap there, per 100 gram. Granted, I am buying like 3 kilos of the stuff, so unfortunately my fridge is extremely stuffed full of stuff, which is a problem, because I'm pretty sure it's not cooling properly because it's so stuffed full. It's a problem. Hopefully it's cooled down now, but I did go shopping there yesterday. Bought a heap of, like a kilo and a half of mince. It's great. I haven't seen like 2 kilos of mince in one place that you can buy as a single packet since I came from Australia. I knew this place existed. Problem is, it's a bit far of a drive. You're wondering how much you're spending in fuel to get there, for how much you're saving in doing all your shopping there, but it allows me to do like 3 weeks of shopping in one day, and it costs like $100, if that. So, I got distracted. What was I talking about? I feel like I had a point to that story, and I got really distracted. Was it talking about the meat? Oh, yes. I got there. Eventually. I've come back to it. Spaghetti bolognese. I don't know where I was going with that. I had a story, and I don't think I said it. No, I got it now. I got it. It came back to me. The shotgun of a thought... the shotgun thought process has managed to make enough circles to come back around. It's managed to figure it out. I remember now. I was thinking of inviting some friends over for dinner, and I managed to find like large amounts of chicken thighs, which is not really that easy to get in Japan. Like proper full, like not like cut to little pieces. The problem is you can get large amounts of chicken thighs, but they've already cut them to little cubes. I wanted like the whole chicken thigh with its skin still on, and I managed to find some at this place. Great, lovely, and I got like a heap of them, and I'm gonna make a really nice Japanese meal with it. Like it's a meal I've made before. It's like a sort of like a miso chicken. It's really good. It's like a spicy garlic miso. It's great. It's a great bit of chicken meal. So I'm gonna make that. And invite some friends over because they've invited me over their place to eat dinner at their place twice. And 2 of my friends, they're married. The wife, rather stoically, I suppose, is a very good cook. She's a very good cook. And so I've been really like wanting to show them off, show off my cooking a bit. So I want to invite them over. And that's where I was going with that. Then I got distracted by, God damn, how doesn't anyone ever listen to me sometimes? This is just, I was going in circles there. Managed to make it back though, but I was about to mention that I was going to invite, so another thing, and that goes to the fact that I was worrying about not having enough time to be able to get the anniversary stream set up for next week, because I'd be inviting that friend over for dinner, and I'd be busy on the weekend, so it was like, I'd be losing a lot of time. Another thing is, for the people here, what day would be best for this long stream? I want to choose a day where you guys would be able to actually turn up to the stream. So if there's any, like, don't do it on these days sort of things, please give us a shout. And if you don't know right now, throwing in the Discord or personally messaging me, that's fine as well. Because I'd like to try, at least let you guys be there for part of the stream, Yeah. So yeah. Don't know where that story is going. That took a long time to get around back, but we got there. Because yeah, this week and then this Monday I'll be really busy because I've got work on Monday. Then the next weekend, I think I'll be going out to a barbecue up north. And also probably inviting my friends over for dinner the next day. Okay, that's just the warning for my friend. Alright. But how long are we going for? 2.5 hours? I think we could finish there. God, I just look at the scene again. God, that looks so good! Man, I'm good at stuff. But yeah, I think we can sort of finish there, maybe. Yeah. I think we'll finish there. So my stream is gonna be around. What are we supposed to show on Discord? If you have any days that you wouldn't be able to ever, if I did like a 5-hour stream or a 6-hour stream on a day, you would never be able to actually make the stream. I'd want the sort of, the people who turn up often, the regulars, I'd want it to be, in this anniversary stream, to be on a day or a time that suits most of you, so at least you can get to some portion of the stream. That's what I wanted to share on Discord. Like, give us a schedule. But that's like if you would like, if I were to do a stream, maybe like if I did a JST 8 AM stream on a Thursday, you're like, sorry, I'm just working that whole day. I'd be able to come for like 15 minutes on my lunch break and not be able to see most of the stream. That wouldn't be good. But, you know, it might be difficult to sort of make that work, but, you know, we'll try and do best for as many as we can. And if you don't want to, like, put it on the Discord, feel free to just personally message me, that's fine. You don't have to put up your goddamn work schedule on the For Eric channel. That's fine, just personally message me if you're that worried. Maybe especially if I'm like, if once everything's ready, I'll put out a few days in which I am planning to do this stream. So once I get everything ready, I'll put on the Discord the days I'm planning to do the stream, or the days that are possible to do this stream. And we'll see how it goes, eh? Opening the Pandora's box there, I know, right? It's more of a, I'll put up what the days I can do, and you guys will tell me, and hopefully by that time I'll know what days you guys can do, and we'll see. It's more of a, I want to try and include you guys in this, you know? You guys have been you've been around for many years, you know? It feels weird to do a 5-year anniversary without the people who've stuck around for that time. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but I'll put it on Discord too. Thanks. But we'll see. And I'll put it on the Discord as well. Once I'm prepared, I'll ask everyone on Discord. Once I'm a bit more prepared, I'll check on Discord. Yes. Yeah. Otherwise, I think we shall finish there. I think we'll call it there, guys, for the day. We won't be back streaming until at least Tuesday next week, because I will be busy. Very busy. A lot. This weekend's going to be extremely physically straining. So, part of the reason I started exercising the last week a bit more is to try and desperately build up a little more fitness for something I was volunteered to do by my local barman. Still on Yakuza 3? Still am. I think we'll just hit Yakuza 3 next time. Don't see why not. I still haven't decided what other game we'll be playing in the time, so unless I think of it, let's assume next stream is Yakuza 3. Yakuza 3, 8 to 9 AM JST on Tuesday next week. Otherwise, thank you all for watching, everyone. This was a very productive stream, and I'm feeling a lot better. This morning has been probably the best morning I've had in a while. I've got to stay off Reddit, guys. Pray for me. If you believe in a god, pray for me to stay off Reddit all today. That'll keep my good mood if I can stay off Reddit. If I can stay off Reddit and Twitter, I'll keep my good mood. I'm really feeling like today was a spectacular start to a day. I nailed it. Exercised, and I didn't feel too tired after the exercise. My body feels a lot better. Good breakfast. Healthy breakfast. Some yogurt. Some bananas. A few nuts. Tea. God. Nailed it. So, and then the stream was so good. I had such a good time. I really felt it today. Today was, I'm on top. Come on. Let's keep it going. See, here we go. Remember, never vent on stream. Keep your grudges inside, eating your mind alive. No, I just vent to my family. I apologize, but I have other people to talk to. Yesterday afternoon was mostly spent venting with one of my sisters. We were just commiserating, really, about things. So don't worry, I vent, just not to you guys. I don't think you deserve that. I complain sometimes, but I don't vent. I don't let the build up. I know how bad that is for you. Anyway. Clap, clap. Let's do the Japanese thing. What, you doing like an ending? It's fine. And as always, everyone, You really need to curate your Twitter feed better. Mine's all big cartoon titties. Mine is 90%. Actually, Twitter is fine. Twitter is 90% cartoon titties because I apparently am involved in VTubers, and that's all VTubers is. It's ZZZ, which is more cartoon titties, and VTubers which are cartoon titties. I just throw Twitter in there because occasionally it'll just, like, Twitter will be consumed by some, like, society-wide problem, like PlayStation cancelling the disc thing. That was just my entire Twitter for weeks. Reddit is a problem. Because I live in Japan, so it suggests me all the Japan Reddits, and the Japanese government is... They idolize certain people. It's full like stupid takes by stupid people. Feels like... Now it's fun with GTA 6 links. No, my Reddit is the bad one, because that is flooded with the current Prime Minister of Japan doing her best Donald Trump impression. Whole thing. Well... She's doing a pretty damn good impression of making it terrible for everyone who's a foreigner. Beside the point. I don't talk about that stuff on stream, so that's my only complaint. So, thank you all for watching. Before I get into that, ooh baby, I could get into it. And as always, good night. Sleep tight. And let's not let our various problems bite too hard. We all have them. We all live with them. But don't let them bite too hard. Go to therapy. Nighty night.